You have Audi. Audi, Volkswagen, they have a lot of engines for years. People are going crazy for the Daza. Audi's had 5 cylinders for years, and they work amazingly well. Yeah, the Daza's great. It's really, really great. Good power band. The transmissions are great. Like, those cars work very well.
Yeah.
But you have the VR6. The VR6 is a legendary engine.
My dad had a red one.
Dude,
red VR6.
VR6 legendary engine.
Passat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's they. If you had a 12-valve VR6, bro, that thing, you build it, you throw a turbo at it, iron block. The thing takes so much boost. Bro, you can make 700-800 horsepower with like a relatively simple build VR6. And the problem that you would have is the transmission is going to break because Audi didn't make anything at the time that was really going to handle it.
Yeah.
You had Group 5, you had the Group 5 rally cars or Group B, I forget which one it was, with the Audis where these cars were making like 850, 900 horsepower on dirt in the 80s or 90s. But, this is like racing heritage and all that comes down into the cars that you're driving, and like going to an event or being in a community that has that. You experience it from different levels. You enjoy it. I love racing. I love drag racing. It's great. And you go to the track, you have an awesome time. But sometimes the egos get so big. Yeah. And, you kind of want to, you kind of want to just like take a step back and, see things a little differently sometimes.
No, it's crazy. Dude, it's funny because like I'm not really talking that much this episode, but it's just like this is so much information and it's so cool to actually.
Dude, I talk a lot.
No, but it's good. It's good information. When we were speaking earlier, dude, and you were saying all this stuff, I'm like, yo, we got to talk about that because I like to know like the history.
I like to be really technical.
Yeah.
So like and that's the thing.
Technical.
Like I'm always learning.
Yeah.
I always try to learn. I'm always trying to read something or, trying to, always look to the new thing. And the reason for that is because, the day you think you know everything is the day you stop learning. But anyway, I built this car, I built this car in my backyard and it made good jam and I've always had fun with it. And then when I started working over there with, with those guys, Mo and his team, and, as part of that team, I did change things on the car. And, it did get better. It advanced. Like everything else is going to get better with time. I did change some things and I learned some things, which is great. And that's the thing is like, you always got to be learning because, and this is something that comes now with the times. I always look at different builds to try to see like, okay, what are these guys doing and apply it to here.
Different platforms.
Because, different platforms have different things going on that is working really well for them. And if you can extract everything, like perfect example, you can look at a Honda engine and people could, like I said, some people don't respect them. Yeah. You look at a Honda engine and, they're extracting every bit of horsepower from those things and look at how they're doing that and apply that to a different engine and you're going to see great things happen. Yeah. You're going to be like, all right, well, look, this engine, they're doing this, they're doing an aluminum rod. Okay. They're revving it to here. They got CNC ported heads. This is something, this is crazy. Right. And you add that to a different engine and what are you going to see? You're going to see results. You had BMW, like perfect example, BMWs, they had port injection. So like you would have to hit it with a lot of meth, to run, to have the fueling to run the 85. Yeah. And, on Corvettes, same thing, like the LT4 Corvette, same thing. You got to hit it with a lot of meth to make like those big numbers. You got to do a cam for the high pressure and then hit it with a lot of meth to make that power. Right. And bro, you apply you move some of that stuff around and you apply some of that knowledge in different areas and you're going to get some good results. But some stuff not everything works. Yeah. You're going to find out what works and what doesn't, but you're going to have to learn it.
So over the years of being there, you were able to kind of do a lot of research.
Yeah, because when I worked there, and I'm pretty sure still to this day, he'll work on, he works on anything. He'll work on anything, like whatever you want to build, he'll do it. Yeah, and that was the thing. Like we were building fast Coyotes. Mm-hmm. We were building we're building a lot of 2J stuff. We would even work on some RBs. Yeah. Some LSs would get some love. Like they would do it all. And then we did Reef's car. Like that was something
iconic. That's an iconic.
That was something crazy. And shout out to the team for doing that. Like it was great. It was great being a part. And that was like we would do anything. And that's the thing. Like that was the mentality where it was like, you can apply, if you can build one car, it's not hard. You can build any.
Yeah.
But like, you know, do a lot more research than just buying parts and just diving into a build. You know, doing a lot of research will save you a lot of time and a lot of money in the long run. Something that I always thought was really cool was like BMW, like racing lore, like, you know, like history and stuff, where you had engines that they used to take from street cars that had over 100,000 miles on them. And in Germany, they would take these engines, these 4 cylinders. They were called an M10. The engine block was called an M10. And this came in like your E21 or, you know, like your normal 3 Series daily driver that had 100,000 miles. And they would take the engine and they would take those blocks because those blocks were machined right because they lasted that long. They would take those blocks and they would set them outside behind the factories when they're building the, you know, race engines.
Yeah.
And they built a nasty cylinder head for it. And then they let that block outside for like a year. It's rumored, and this is like, I'm a little skeptical. I kind of believe it. Maybe some days I believe it, some days I won't. But it's rumored that the engineers that were building these things, they will go out behind the factory where the blocks are sitting in the sun and rain and whatever, and piss on these blocks. And it was like, you know, and these were the blocks that then got built and went into Formula One cars at the time. That were turbo 4-cylinder, making over 1,000 horsepower.
Because they
in the 80s.
Because they peed on the blocks.
Because they peed on the blocks. You know, R. Kelly might be like, yo, that's...
Yeah.
Damn.
Yo, you went there with that one.
Yo, I mean, you know, shoot.
So, okay. So if you guys want to build a BMW...
I said it's rumored. I said it's rumored, man. Don't take it for a fact.
I feel like you believe it.
Don't take it. You know, sometimes you believe stuff. You know, sometimes you believe stuff. What like? Okay, what's like more lore that's like out there for, you know,
for what? Just
for motorsport in general. I'm not saying BMW. I'm saying like motorsport in general.
That's a good one. That's actually, I like this question.
There's a lot. You know, there's a lot of fact. Like, you know,
like the one you said about the Garretts.
Yeah, like the precision stuff.